There it is.
We are here.
Salute.
Here. Salute, sir, for another episode. This is Evan Layton with HTown Happy Hour.
Derek Deal-Talevi with HTown Happy Hour.
And our very special guest today,
Chase Patrick, baby.
What's
Chase
up, Derek?
Patrick, baby.
I appreciate y'all having me
Chase
on.
Patrick. Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, glad
to
you
have
made
dude.
it, man.
Yeah. Through the traffic.
Through the traffic.
And we were right next to each other, which
Dude,
was crazy.
I threw the H's up at
That
you
was-
in traffic,
Yeah.
man. I was like, what's up, dude?
That's hilarious because I talked to him right when I talked to you, and y'all both were like, I'm by 16. I was like, bro, tell Chase what's up.
Yeah.
And then he actually did.
Yeah, he
tell
did.
you what's up.
Yeah, he called me. He was like, where you at? I'm like, man, I got Palisade right here. He's like, you're right next to me.
I was like, all right, my Palisade, man. I was like, what are you in, man? He was like, usually I'm in my, Ferrari, but today I have my wife's VW or something.
I was in the girlfriend's facade.
Well, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Chase, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, so Chase Patrick. I guess I'm an entrepreneur, businessman, marketing guru.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Live a life of passion,
Cool.
and believing in myself and believing in others, believing in, fellas like yourself doing something that you want to do. You wake up and you want to do it every single day.
Yes, sir.
Dude,
and
it's
continue to, thrive and be around people like y'all.
Yeah.
Dude.
Absolutely.
Just living in a dream.
Well, man, I mean, that's just awesome, man.
Yeah.
We feel it. We feel
Yeah.
it. We feel that you feel like that, man. And, there's a lot of people that don't have that drive to want to help out others,
Yeah.
man, and attach themselves to something cool. So, glad you're doing that.
Yeah, crazy. Well, I guess crazy little thing. So, used to be in music. Used to call myself Chasing Dreams. Why I called
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. Why I called myself Chasing Dreams was I got out of community college, got a math degree, got a music engineer degree. Did some things like this, but I just loved producing music. All my buddies were DJs, and I just wanted to record music. And there was artists that didn't have the means to record and stuff. So I was able to provide beats and recording and graphic design and some marketing help. I didn't even know I was marketing at that time.
Right.
And but I just had a passion of living in being able to provide something in someone else's dream.
And so you were doing that with your buddies who were doing music. Right?
Yeah.
And what was their names? The group name?
SBMT.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you got Brian and Travis, Robbie, Juan, Seth.
Shout outs.
It's a team of DJs.
Yeah, a team of
Yeah.
DJs, and that's what really kind of launched me into marketing.
Cool.
Was that, but just got into it and loved every single bit of it, and started DJing and.
Took the ball and ran with it.
Yeah, I lived a lot in the last 10 years, so it's really hard to explain. We can go from the very beginning, when I first started at 16. And
He's like, I couldn't get a McChicken, all right? But now I'm sponsoring McDonald's franchises.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're gonna get the franchise company I work with up that big. But
Nice.
Yeah.
it all started when I was 15, 14, when I was got a couple C's on my report card or my progress reports, and went to the Kinko's and was like, how do I change these? And figured out how to do it, and then helped out some other people in school to do that. And
Did they
word
give you
got
a
out.
recipe that could be duplicated? Were they you just white it out, you scan it, and you turn it in?
Yeah, pretty much. And then
Alright.
they had back end imaging on it, so you had to pull up I got a guy that really wanted to help me. There were some people that did not want to help you at all,
Yeah.
trying to forge things.
Yeah.
And,
Sir, you're going to need to tell your parents you're not passing math, okay?
and it worked out, So, it got me to where I'm at now. I didn't need the grades to, become the position I'm in now. So,
Creativity.
yeah.
Yeah.
Creativity and hard work and hustle,
Hell yeah.
making mistakes.
Well,
yeah.
man, it's funny because, just because you don't excel in school,
Yeah.
like a high school or a college, something like that, if you aren't acing all your classes, it's like trying to judge a fish on how well they can climb a tree. It's kind of
Yeah.
well, hey, man, you might be better at something else. You know what I mean?
Like swimming.
Like swimming. Or marketing for fucking elite companies. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Instead of, I can't remember this line in this, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
what are you what companies are you doing marketing for now?
Just one company right now.
Yeah.
That company is iCryo.
iCryo.
Yeah, iCryo, cryotherapy, holistic, intelligent human therapy. We started with one location. We have 12 locations. Hold the chief marketing officer position.
Wow.
There's the founders. You have Bill and Kyle Jones, who founded the company and gave me an opportunity about 6 years ago to start with creating the logo, and it grew into the position I have now.
Yeah.
And just learning from the experience.
Absolutely.
You know, I've worked with over 150 small to mid-sized businesses.
Oh, huge.
This is my third franchise company I've worked with. The first one was a company called Beefstros in my early 20s. I'm 32 now. Then I was working with Crisp, which was my marketing agency, which really serviced all the different small to mid-sized businesses, bars, restaurants. Did a couple big music festivals, Mardi Gras, Galveston, and I kind of like lived two lives. I did the Crisp like Monday through Friday, just like hustling, making websites, running social media, photo, videos, and then at the nights I was DJing. You know,
Partying.
I love. Well,
Sounds
I was
like
getting paid to party.
Yeah,
And, you know,
okay.
I like.
It's kind of the dream, though, isn't
Yeah,
it,
it is.
playa?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah.
Like at the end of the night, you're like, should I be getting paid this much to do this? Like, I'm a little faded right now.
Yeah, no, just put it in my pocket. Put it here.
No, but it was awesome. And then it came to a point where I remember it was like December 2017, and it was either 2017 or 2018. It came to a point where like DJ career was taking off. Like, you know, myself, Travis, Brian, like we were traveling a lot more. Brian and I had already gone to LA and done a big music project for a year, made an album. Unfortunate situation happened right there.
Okay,
But
it happens.
But that was what got me into marketing. We can kind of talk about that here in a bit. But I remember December that I had to make a decision whether to go the marketing route and go the business route or go the DJ route.
So crucial.
It was, dude.
Like fully
Two
committed.
roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both.
Yeah, it's like
Shout
dude,
out Miss Sedberry for teaching me that poem.
and I
serious.
chose the business and marketing life.
Do you
Nice.
regret it?
No, not at all.
Absolutely.
Dude, I love every single minute of my life. I love waking
Wonderful.
up. Like the stresses that come with it. It's just it's a beautiful thing. Like you get to watch people and watch companies like just
Flourish.
take an idea and grow it into something that not only helps themselves but helps X amount of people,
Yeah.
depending on how big the company
And
is.
you get to help them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just watch. You get to help them
Exactly.
create their dream.
And then get to learn from other people.
Exactly.
That's the coolest part. Like you get to be within like
Absolutely.
someone else's energy circle,
Yep.
and then like you have to prove yourself to be inside that energy circle, and then
And then bring your skills to the table.
yeah, you have to.
Yep.
You have to, because then they're just gonna find someone else,
Yep.
which has happened.
Hey, producer, get lost, bud.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and so you really have to like you got to step the fuck up,
Yeah.
and
People need to hear that too. Say
Yeah.
it again if they didn't hear you.
yeah, you just gotta step the fuck up. Like, dude, there was so many times where you just felt like that you're not worthy. Like it's being in the entrepreneurial world and like just business world and the marketing world. Like there's a lot of failures.
Yep.
And I have this one sign that I've had almost for the last 10 years, and it literally just says. Believe in your dreams and they may come true, but believe in yourself and it will come true. And I can
Yeah.
and I can tell you right now,
Yeah.
like my life has like literally become full circle in the last 10, 12 years. And I'm living in my purpose. I'm living in God's purpose for
Nice.
me. And it's
All praise to the Most High.
because of the last 10 to 12 years I had horse blinders on. I learned from my mistakes. Every single day I gave 150%. I was shooting in the gym 7 days a week. I didn't care what other people said, that try to guide. Like I felt like that they were trying to guide me in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody who has no freaking idea what path you're really trailblazing.
Yep.
And they'll be like, you know what you need to do? You need an app. And you're
Yeah.
like, shut up.
Yeah.
I have so much more other things to do.
I was literally telling him about this the other day. I'm reading that book, The Art and Science of Respect by Jay Prince, and like one of the overarching themes is like you don't have to see my vision, just stay out of my way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or just come to the table with something that elevates the vision.
yeah. Yes.
The only reason I became successful in marketing and in business was because I saw niches.
Yeah.
I
you capitalized.
didn't work with unsuccessful businesses. I found successful businesses, and I remember Nobi Pub, which is
No, be right there.
yeah, right there on NASA Road 1.
Kills it.
If anyone's from that area, they were an innovator in not only the Asian American fusion, but with craft beer as well.
Yep,
9,
they sure
10
were.
years ago. And they were the first one to do over 30 craft beers in the area, and they just had lines and everything. And so they were already successful. So I remember sitting at the bar and I was like, I know they don't have a website. So I sat at the bar, had a drink. And I looked at the manager. And I was like, "Hey, I know y'all don't have a website." They're like, "Yeah, I know we don't. We need one."
How'd you know that?
Telling
Well,
our
let me
owner.
tell you who I am.
Literally, the manager goes, "Hey, can you meet us tomorrow? Can you meet the owners tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well, can you have something ready?" I was like, "Yes." And I remember I did not sleep that night. I made them a full website that night,
Damn.
put all their beers, put their
Nice.
menu, like
Wow.
sourced everything from the internet.
Yeah.
Because so many marketing people.
That's so overtime. That
I
is
hate-
just
I hate-
putting in
yeah.
extra hours.
I hate to say this, so many marketing people are they're lazy and they don't like creative think in the way that they need to be creatively thinking.
Yep.
And so I remember that next day, that was the first website that I sold over $1,000, which was like a huge deal.
Feels amazing.
Yeah, because I've sold websites on Fiverr. I've built websites for $5, $10,
Really?
$15
Yeah.
back in the day.
Wow.
I have.
I've paid people on Fiverr to do a lot of graphic work for me and stuff.
And the next day, I sat at a table. I had my laptop. I had my iPad, and it's all in presentation because you can either sell the sizzle or you can give them the steak. Well, my motto is you give them the sizzle and you give them the steak.
Yeah.
Like it's that.
Well, that's like the old saying. People say you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Well, why the hell not?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Why would I want a cake if I can't eat it?
What do you mean the point of having a cake if I can't eat a slice? man?
Exactly.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So I sat down and they bought the website right then and there, paid in full, and gave me like 2 huge cases of like some premier craft beer, and I was like,
Hell yeah.
this is it. I did it.
Wonderful.
And then the next day I was like, okay, what's the next big place around here? And
Beautiful. What's next? What's
Yeah.
next? Well, you know what? It's I'm happy that you were able to say that in your approach to them, because for me as kind of like sales is like a natural background.
Yeah.
You start. A lot of times my conversation starts with the goal in mind. The end is I already know that y'all don't have a website. Hey.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for y'all's website online. I
Yeah.
couldn't find it. Well, we don't have it. I wanted to talk to you about that
Yeah.
also.
Asking questions you know the answers to.
Exactly.
And it just happens. And some people said no. And then you
Absolutely.
just keep going. Then like, okay, maybe you don't have the decision power, but like when you're in that sales I hate salespeople. Let me say who I hate. I hate salespeople who aren't marketing people who sell marketing services.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest I love in my position I have to work with the person doing the work. Like
Doing the
if I'm
sales.
doing websites, I got to work with the developer. I got to work
Okay.
with the designer. If I'm doing SEO project, I have to work with the SEO specialist that's like on the back end doing all keyword strategy and everything. Because when you're working with liaisons, account managers and stuff, you lose so much in communication, and they're just honestly kind of faking it.
Right. They don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. And
They're just like, man, we just kind of were given this position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and same thing for Mardi Gras. When I got the opportunity to work I did Mardi Gras. I was on their marketing team for 7 years, held a contract with them on the DJ side and on the marketing side. And I literally got invited, it was like Monday, and I had a meeting on Thursday. I was like, hey, Mike wants to meet you. He was the current contract owner of Mardi Gras. And I remember I wrote up 3 pages of just line items. I was like, dude, y'all are doing everything great, but this is how I can make it better. And I was like, run social media like this, build a website around, Electric Mardi Gras, and just did it all out. And I literally handed him a piece of paper, and he was like, you can do all this? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, all right. And so we went through negotiations, and you create your own job.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So much. And then after you
good
finish
job.
it, and then you always gotta think about exit. Okay, if I do this job, what's the exit? Am I gonna continue working with y'all? Because as a marketing person, they see that you're a really good person that you want to work with, and they're like, well, what if can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me?
Yep.
And at first, being nice people, you want to keep doing it,
You
and you
wanna
do
do
all
it
this shit
all.
for free.
Yeah.
But then you gotta figure out how to monetize it.
Right.
Well, you know what? And that's why I like to have. I'm comfortable with charging for a good or a service.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to be comfortable with that, because
Yep.
if I'm doing something of quality work that I stand behind and I put my name on it,
Yeah.
I'm allowed to charge you for a service or a good.
Yep.
End of story. And and we can't be afraid to ask.
You gotta
for
know
the-
your value, and you gotta let them know your value. It's like you gotta find the happy medium between doing free work to get yourself out there, and then knowing how to charge for your services.
Yeah.
It's
Because I'll tell you, you've helped a lot of people on the way up here.
A lot.
a lot of free work.
Yeah. I know you've helped a lot of people on the way up here, and there was times 6, 7, 8 years ago I'm talking like, Derek, stop telling everybody what the frick we're doing. And he's like, nah. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna tell him.
The thing is,
and then he has a full-time job marketing at a huge company in Houston now.
Yeah,
because of it.
On a huge fucking development project right now.
Exactly.
Huge.
I
So
saw the
maybe
big,
it works.
I saw the big PR announcement a few days ago.
Boom, 5,000 person concert hall.
Dude,
we're
that was
doing it.
dope.
Dude,
We're doing it.
dude.
I remember you gave me a tour at Post HTX right after Harvey, and the
Yeah.
basement was still flooded.
Yeah.
And I believe it was before the first day and night festival, or maybe in between the first and second one
Yeah.
that y'all did there. And just you were telling me this vision, and it's crazy because like the hardest thing is like people have an idea and they want it done tomorrow.
Right.
When was the first time that you heard about Post HTX?
5-6 years ago.
Okay. Look at where it's going at now. It
Right.
took a 5+ year vision, and it's that long-term goal. So many people are so short-term, and they
Yes.
just quit.
And it's
Correct.
crazy because so many people couldn't see the vision. Like our biggest hurdle with Post Houston and everything was people were like, people didn't believe that this isn't real. This
Yeah.
can't be real. Y'all
Can't.
it's too far fetched.
Yeah.
Are y'all really gonna do this?
Yeah.
Like you're building a mall with a 5-acre rooftop park.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I was, bringing up the other day. Some people might not have, they can't see it.
Right.
They can't
Right.
wrap their head around something that's going to be such a gigantic footstep
Yeah.
here in the city.
So as marketers, it's our job to paint that vision for them.
Yeah.
You gotta
Everything's
do
visual.
that painting.
Social media is visual, man.
It
It's how us humans are trained right now. Everything's visual. Like anytime I do any type of proposal, strategy, anything now, there's visuals attached to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time.
Absolutely. Content is king, even in presentations and everything.
Dude, everything.
Yeah.
I give a corporate presentation every Monday, and it's visual.
Yeah.
It's like whether like I'm showcasing the sales of the company or talking about the new graphics that we're producing or the social media posts. Like even though it's the same 10 people I see every single Monday, I'm bringing it to the table, and it's a
Right.
presentation so they can fully see. Like I can sit here and talk about it, but if it's like when you walk into a bar, it's like 360 degree experience of marketing. And so it's like, hitting all your 5 senses of marketing. And so if I can tell a story not only through my mouth, but at the same
You said
time,
5 degrees of marketing,
360 degrees of marketing
and then you said something about chapter 5.
and 5 senses of marketing.
5 senses.
Yeah. So 360
I
degrees.
told you I'm taking notes, dude.
Yeah. So if you walk into a restaurant,
Yeah.
and the moment you walk in, it smells good. It smells good. Everything's like visually pleasing.
Oh.
If you turn around and do this, it's an experience.
Yep, they've got music
24/7.
Everything.
Yeah.
All the
sound
senses.
is good. Everything. Like the feel, like the chairs, like feel good. The tables are clean. Like if you put your hand on a table and you
It's
feel a
not
bunch
sticky.
of crumbs. Yeah.
You don't got a bunch of queso in the
Yeah.
corner.
All the senses are so important for like not only for an operations of business, but for marketing as well too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just, man, it's just crazy. We can talk marketing all day.
Oh, we love it.
Everything.
We
I
love
can tell you so many different scenarios, all the different companies, all the good things, the bad things.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those then.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the good and the bad things, man. Okay. Let's go with what was one of the times where you felt overwhelmed? Have you ever felt overwhelmed with a contract or like with the proposal or something like that where you're just like,
Yeah,
okay,
all the time.
tell me about it.
All the time.
All the time.
Tell us about it.
That's growth, baby. Like, so there's been times. So like, let's say like when I was with Crisp, and I had 5 website projects at one time. The one big thing that I can tell people is like when you're growing a business, you want to grow yourself out of the business. Like that should
Right.
be.
You want it to run without you.
Yeah, because I was really a website developer. Built. I think I have 135 websites underneath my belt. But
Damn.
But when you start up a company, is like you're usually good at some. Like we were just talking about a cake lady before this,
Yeah.
and so.
Case Bakes, she's coming on the 30th. Be prepared.
And so, and so, in my personal experience, if I was able to like have the mindset, 8-10 years ago to work myself out of the business, I believe that Chris would have been way more successful and I would have been a better business owner. But I was so involved in, like, I had to make the websites, I had to be doing the posts on social media.
Do you think maybe learning that lesson of grow yourself out of the business had to have been learned by immersing yourself so much into the business?
Yes, 100%.
How? Because it's funny. talk about that 360-degree thing. It's almost like you go into it thinking, I need to be 100,000% on this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, once you've been doing it, a lesson is grow yourself out of the business. You're like, wait a sec, I thought I was supposed to be in the trenches here.
Yeah, no. Oh, well, you still are in the trenches.
Right. You
but
have to be.
You need to grow yourself out of the business 100%. That's the only way that you can scale.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of like growth stunts because I wouldn't grow myself out of the business. I
So-
wouldn't grow myself out of clients either. Because
Yeah.
once when you get into it, like if you're in a
Wow.
client-based business, like you have to have exit strategy. You don't want to be involved with that client forever.
Exactly.
Because then they're just going to depend on you forever. Like you do the, whatever the scope of project is for like, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, like what is your exit strategy out of it?
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
You build a website, it's like you,
So one of the things I know some people feel their way about sales guys. all
yeah,
right?
it's okay.
But-
I'm a sales guy.
Yeah, no,
That's
for sure.
the only reason I'm here is because I'm a sales guy.
Where was I with this? I was talking about you were
So you're asking me about like, has there ever been a time that I've ever been overwhelmed?
right.
And I'm overwhelmed. There's every single month, but it's your goal to manage that overwhelmment. Like, and so you have
Exactly.
your team. So it's like, because if you're at the top, you're the business owner, you're chief marketing
Mm-hmm.
officer, marketing director, whatever. Like, you have so many projects coming your way, but then it's up to you to delegate them and project manage
Mm-hmm.
them to other departments, to your team.
So is that
vendors.
something that you were saying you would be that you were able to do is the delegation of tasks also? Is that kind of what's helped you grow out of the business?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the main thing that taught me that was like the mentors that I've had along the road. And so
Perfect.
last year, 2020, I went on a 12-month mentorship with a gentleman named Bob, and he was ex-CEO of Golden Corral, ex-CEO of Muscle Maker Grill, president of Pepsi Cola, VP of Pizza Hut. Like in his career, he's 68 years old.
Wow.
And he literally, in January, he works for iCryo too, and so he wrote like 3 pages, and he was like, Chase, you're doing great, but these are all the things you need to work on. And it was all management,
Wonderful.
delegation, project management, and so it just
Next level stuff.
Yeah, it's just taking it seriously because once when you start really elevating yourself and like, I'm sure y'all have, I'm sure you have, you found someone which is like, hey man, I kind of want to take
Absolutely.
you underneath my wing. This is what you can do better. It's constructive criticism,
Mm-hmm.
but when you're overwhelmed, it's a moment of challenge.
Yeah.
It's a moment of
Are
growth.
you going to step up or are you
Yeah.
going to back down?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because everybody has the option to say no.
Yep.
You have the freedom.
Yep.
And usually when you say no is when you give up. Or
Right.
the hardest thing to do is when you
Sometimes it can be hard to say no.
yeah, and you need to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I would have said no a lot of times in the last 10 years. But the number one thing that overwhelmed me, and I'll end the overwhelmment on this, is the number one thing that overwhelmed me was saying yes to everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Being
and
a
not,
yes man,
not
like-
understanding my own boundaries.
It's tough. It's tough to manage because, especially as a marketer, like it's such a vague thing. Like you're supposed to take on so many tasks, and that list just continues to grow,
Yeah.
grow, and you have to learn how to build a team and delegate those tasks.
And trust in your team too.
Absolutely.
That everyone's going to be able to hold their part.
Yep.
You know.
That trust. And then a lot of times when you're working on a project, you usually add more to the project because you yourself are the creative and you're like, man, what if I did this? What if I did this? What if I
Yep.
did this? And the thing is, it's never appreciated because no one ever knows that you did those things.
Right.
But the thing is, you went to sleep knowing that you made it better.
You did the best
Yeah.
thing that you could do
Yeah.
to make it work
Yeah.
efficiently. I kind of look at that as like people who are big brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm the littlest brother out of my group. I always feel
Yeah.
like my older brother took like the brute of the punishment for everything. And then I was just like, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did it, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I was crying on the ground one time. My mom comes running upstairs because he's trying to help me up. My mom runs up and just grabs him by the nipples, twists him, turns him up against the wall. And just like, quit messing with your brother.
Yep.
And they just, but kind of with that creativity thing you're saying, it's like you take all this upon yourself with maybe not even anybody recognizing it for like, hey, thank you for putting that extra hour in to the detailed part of this. You know what I mean? And you're
Yeah.
like, well, I know I did what I did. Even if y'all don't, I do.
Yeah.
That's why y'all are paying me to do this.
Exactly.
So I'm a professional.
And then always going the extra mile. Like
Yeah.
if you're a person that goes the extra mile, like life's going to take care of you. Business is going to take care of you.
Yep.
Whether, you know, maybe you feel like in a certain situation that, you know, the company that you're with isn't taking care of you. But like I said, if you go to sleep every single night knowing that you're giving the extra mile, like Kevin Hart says, the sun comes up every single day.
Yeah.
The moon's going to rise every single night. Like nothing's going to change. And so like if you just continue to strive and just like push through, you know, the adversity of all the problems and situations and stresses, like my phone right now, I know 3 text messages that came in over the weekend that were like, Chase, we have a problem. Chase, we have a problem. And I'm just like,
Can't y'all solve it yourself?
but they can't because you know they come to you because they trust you.
Right.
And so it's just like, okay, now you have to step up, and it's just like you're in the business of creative solutions.
That's a good feeling to have, though. Is people trusting you and
Yeah.
knowing they come to you to solve those problems.
Exactly.
I was listening to a public speaker talk one time, and he was talking about the more problems that you can solve for other people, the more money you're going to get paid.
Right.
The more
Yeah.
problems
Right.
that you can solve for other people is if you can just figure out what their problem is,
Yeah.
solve it,
Yep.
and then charge
Yeah.
for the service or good.
Yep.
Professional problem
Yep.
solver.
It literally goes back to that piece of paper, which is like, hey, this is what I can solve for you.
Yeah.
Are we dabbing?
Yeah, we're dabbing,
dude.
we're
We're
dabbing.
dabbing.
So it literally, I mean, businesses are built off problems. I'm a solution to your problem. I'm a bar. People want to drink.
Right.
So I open up a bar, people come drink, solve the
Yep.
problem.
Yep.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
I want to kind of dive into the mentorship aspect
Yep.
a little more, just because it's so important to have guidance in,
Yep.
in whatever you're doing, and it can be kind of hard to find the right mentor. How did you go about? You said Bob mentored you. How did you how did you go about finding a mentor like that?
So I've had 3 major mentors in my life.
Yeah.
The first one was Mike Dean from Galveston. He comes in, honestly, so I was 2012 I was DJing, and supposedly it might have been 2014. I'm trying to remember the years, and I'm so old now. But I'm young, I feel young. But I remember I was DJing, and supposedly like I invoked a riot, some sort,
Hell
from
yeah.
DJing, and so I actually got a lifetime ban from Mardi Gras, and I was like,
Dude, that's
never,
quite the claim.
yeah, never allowed to ever go again, never allowed to DJ there ever again.
Wow.
And word got around that I was doing marketing stuff, and so the next year was like, hey, let's have another conversation. So I brought in that piece of paper, and so I was on from December to, you know, whether it was like end of February, beginning of March, whenever Mardi Gras is. It's about a 3-month contract, and I just showed my worth, showed my value, increased ticket sales, viewership, built out Electric Mardi Gras, and then the next year, and then he was just like, all right, you're coming on again next year.
Yeah.
And so then
Go back to that claim, dude. Mardi Gras is the party,
It's
and
insane.
they said you party too hard,
supposedly I started a riot.
bro. I thought HTown Happy Hour was everything happening in the party, man. But
Yeah.
that sounds wild.
Yeah, Mardi Gras is pretty wild. You see between 200 and 300,000 people in a 2-week period
Will,
on the island.
do you remember what song you chose that got it started?
I was probably playing some Waka Flocka.
I go hard in the paper.
And you know,
Yeah.
on the mic, hey, and just, you know,
But
they turn the lights on, and I don't shut the music off, and then
It made people recognize you, though.
Yeah.
It made, you know what I'm saying? Is that not how you got your foot in the door?
It created attention.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the thing is, like, when I was in that moment, I believed like that was like the best thing to do as like the person hosting the party.
The
like,
person entertaining.
that was me.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I have
Screw
no
these
filter.
2 o'clock rules, man. We're still playing.
Yeah.
Past 2 a.m.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so the mentorship, and so he took me underneath his wing, and as we, you know, continued working with each other over the years, like it took me asking the questions,
Yeah.
because a lot of business owners, they'll see it in you. That's why they hired you.
Right.
But what really is going to set you apart and really get that knowledge from that other person is just calling them and be like, hey, man, can we sit down for 2 hours? I'm dealing with the situation. And so he helped me a lot with a lot of, you know, personal management situations, how to become a better business owner, better marketing person. And then he connected me. And then the second person was another guy named Mike. And he took me more on the business side of it. for about 2 years, and then Bob came in, and Bill, the CEO of iCryo, has also been a great mentor as well too. But Bob, so we pretty much shared an office. But Bob was the one who reached out to me. Was like, I remember us sitting at Whiskey Cake, and he was like, Chase, I want to take you underneath my wing.
Yeah.
I need to teach you some things.
Yeah.
He was like, I believe in you. I know you can be, a CMO of a Fortune 500 company.
And even though that they say that it's still your job, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yep.
It's your job to get that, to ask those questions. He puts you up. He's like, hey, look, I know that you're capable of this. Mm-hmm. And then you said, did he also give you a list of things that you needed to work on too?
He gave me a full-on list, and I'm gonna keep that list till the day I die.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
And I just went through a performance review, pretty much with that, and my current role, and some other KPIs as well too. But we had that list out, and then we had another list out, and it was just like crushed it.
Checking it
We can
off.
do a little bit better on this one. We can do a little bit better on this one.
Killed it. Killed it. Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like, it's, if you can give someone the tools, like I have no, like you said, like y'all were talking about how you're giving like advice on marketing for free and stuff. I can give people, like businesses and people, advice on marketing and business all day.
But it's not you or
Yeah.
or
It's up to them.
anyone.
It's up to them to actually do it.
100%.
Well, but even if you tell them the blueprint,
Doesn't mean they're gonna go do it.
even if you tell them the blueprint, they might just try to dig for your info and then be like, hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happens
But I
all the
tell
time.
you,
And then just
9 times out of 10, bro, they don't go do it. 9 times out of 10, they don't go do it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to pay you to go do it. So, sorry.
or
It's
they'll say
weird.
they can do it better. We don't need that information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, dude. So when I worked for Chick-fil-A, I went through, I guess, some franchise mentorship, but I see mentorship, like I had those 3 mentors.
What'd you do for everybody? What'd you do for Chick-fil-A?
Okay, so I'll go back. So this is my 3rd franchise company that I work for.
Yeah.
The first one was called Beefstros. We started when I was in my early 20s. Started at 1 location, went to 5 locations, back down to 1 location. I was a remote worker from Houston. They were based out of Naples and Fort Myers, Florida. And the reason why I went from 1 to 5 back down to 1 is because terrible owner, terrible management, terrible investor, just didn't know how to do it right. And so then I eventually stepped out of that. And then the second franchise company.
What was
I
your
worked-
exit strategy for that? Were you just kind of like, hey, y'all are already exiting me out. I'm out. Yeah, hey.
I remember the email I typed up. I was getting paid $400 a month. I built the website. I handled a lot of the graphics. I ran their social media. They wouldn't agree to any photo shoots, no nothing, any of that. But it was a $400 check every single month. And in my early 20s, when you're hustling,
Hungry, trying to make it.
that $400 on that Tuesday, I'm waiting for that day
if
to
ramen
hit.
is 25 cents with tax, I can get 800.
Yeah. But actually, it came to a point where I had to say no to them. And I specifically remember the morning. I remember sitting at the table at this house that me, Brian, and my buddy Matt lived in. And I remember looking out the window. It was like 8 a.m. and I had this whole email typed up. And I was like, I pressed send. And it was like me quitting Beefstros. And it was just like the biggest weight off the shoulder.
Beautiful.
And guess what? It led to more opportunities.
Yep.
Awesome.
Because when you're growing a business, you're gonna have to let go of some opportunities to create room for bigger opportunities.
Yes.
Growth.
Yeah.
You're gonna outgrow stuff.
And it's so good that you were able to, to see that and go through with that.
Yeah,
For sure.
And so then Chick-fil-A. So that was through Crisp. Chris Marketing Agency when that was a thing, and I actually had a buddy who I used to play soccer with. It's everything's networking.
Yeah.
I've built my business on not spending $1 in advertising. I built the business on having key relationships, maintain those relationships, and leading with integrity within myself. And so I had a good, cool guy back in soccer. He knew I was doing marketing. Hey, come hang out. Come meet me at Chick-fil-A. I forgot, it was South Rice, Chimney Rock in 59, I believe. And I sat down with them and was like, well, this is not only an opportunity for 1 Chick-fil-A, it's an opportunity for 3 Chick-fil-A's, and this is what we want. We need to get better, we need to recruit more people for hiring, and we need to increase our catering sales.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Can you do that?
yeah. And so I was like, yes, of course, I can do that, because I'm not going to say no.
Absolutely.
And
Chick-fil-A is like, hey, we got not only 1,
Even
but
if I don't
3.
know how to do
Yeah.
it, I'm gonna say yes and I'll figure it out.
And I did. But that opportunity happened because God knew you were ready for that opportunity.
Right.
That's what I was going to mention just a second ago. Being able to, that weight that was on your shoulders, that pressure that you were feeling, that you're like, man, I'm going to go out on faith. Guys, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then whenever you close that door, you're just like, man, did I make the right choice? God, please, did I make the right choice?
Yep.
It's funny, other doors open.
Yeah.
They do.
And sometimes the doors are 4 times the size.
Yep.
No, and they are 4 times the size.
But you have to walk out on faith in that.
Exactly.
And trust in not only yourself, but in the Most High.
It's scary.
Yeah.
What they
It's
say,
scary.
if opportunity doesn't come knocking, I'm gonna bust the
But
fucking
ring the
door
fucking
down.
door down.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna bust the fucking door down.
Yeah, man. If it
Yeah.
doesn't come knocking, man. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and then Chick-fil-A happened. They started with 3 locations, went up to 5, went to 10, went to 15.
Wow.
But there was...
And you were doing the marketing for,
So-
or doing those, what they asked you to do for
Yeah.
15 of them.
Yeah, so marketing is... There's a misconception of marketing. Marketing, if you market for a small business, it doesn't take one person. There's about 25 different pillars of marketing that's involved in it, like 25 different verticals.
Right.
But specifically it was for that. And then, but it came in, so that happened. I finished that project. I built out, a couple Chick-fil-A websites and, did some AdWords stuff, got them #1 on Google for, Houston catering, Houston Chick-fil-A catering,
Nice.
Oh,
which
yeah.
beat out, they wanted to beat out their other franchisees too.
Absolutely.
And so then, word got out. So, now I'm going to Mount Bellevue, Baytown. Now I'm going to Humble and Lake Houston to visit it. And they all had different projects like, Chase, like I need photography, I need presentations made, I need employment onboarding. And so it just started becoming like a lot bigger project.
You were getting more and more responsibility.
Exactly.
Every day.
But I
you
kept on
woke
saying
up.
yes. And so
Yeah.
I was overwhelming myself
Oh.
but at that time, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved every minute of it.
Well,
but
some of that pressure is necessary.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Some of that pressure is good for the growth of you and what you got to do.
I perform best under pressure.
You need pressure every day.
For
Yeah.
sure.
If you don't have pressure, if you're in a relationship with a girl and she's not pressuring you to be a better man, you're with the wrong
You're in
girl.
the wrong relationship.
Yeah.
100%. You gotta apply pressure
And
always.
And so on the exit of Chick-fil-A, I didn't understand the exit when I first got into it. I didn't know a lot about exit strategies until
Well, dude,
this day.
also you're dealing with the Lord's business now.
Yeah.
You're dealing with Chick-fil-A now.
Yeah.
So how do you really want to exit those guys?
So I got to work one-on-one with just amazing franchisees. But pretty much what happened is they ended up hiring a bunch of marketing managers, and I would work with all the marketing managers and worked with them, consulted them, trained them,
Yeah.
and then literally within 2 weeks exited out of all the locations.
Yeah.
And I mean that was a lot of invoicing.
For
and
sure.
I went from
Wow.
like doing a bunch of Chick-fil-A invoices to the next month like no Chick-fil-A invoices, and you're just like,
Oh, fuck.
oh geez.
I just bought that damn Ferrari.
Yeah.
Damn it, I need more, man. I just bought that stinking
I
Ferrari.
taught everyone
man.
how to do what I do, and now I can't do what I do anymore because they're doing it.
And which is crazy because then that door closed, and look at it now with iCryo. We started, I'll kind of go into the iCryo story if that's okay.
Yeah,
Please
let's
do.
do it.
Yeah, so
Bust it out.
iCryo started, like I said, Bill and Kyle started it October 2015, and they kind of brought me on right at the beginning. We started at 1 location. We now have 12 open locations across the country. We have, by the end of this year, December 2021, we'll have 24, 25 open. By the end of 2022, we'll have between 50 and 60 open.
Damn.
And by the end of 2023, we'll have about 110.
Now, is this all projected to be within Texas, or where else do y'all have locations?
So currently we're in Texas, Florida, Indiana, New York. I think there's another state, but I'm just gonna say those 4 right now.
Okay.
I have the map in my head, but yeah, we're in.
well, those are pretty big spots.
We're in 4 or 5 states right now. We've sold locations in 26 states so far. And we're just continuing to sell. Like literally in the next 90 days, you're gonna see announcements of like we just announced that we sold over 100 franchise locations.
Congrats.
In about 30 to 45 days, we're about to announce that we've sold over 200. In about 90 days, we're gonna announce that we've sold over 300 locations.
Damn.
Across the country. And that's the 3rd franchise company I've worked with. And it's just it's the greatest opportunity of my life because every day we get to help people. But it started like I had to grow myself out of so many roles in iCryo because at first I was the graphic designer and
Well, also you were
website
supposed
developer.
to. You were supposed to.
Yeah.
It was designed to be like that.
Well, and
know?
two,
Well-
you do those, and then you teach someone else how to do it. Like you pave the way, and then
Yep.
other people will follow the path.
Yep. Yeah.
It's easy.
Systemized. And
Yep.
working with Chick-fil-A, they were so systemized. Like, why do you think people like they're okay with sitting in like they see the long line and
But it's quick.
Exactly, and they're okay with it.
Yep.
But if you see a long line at like Panda Express or Panera Bread,
If
or
there's more than
rolling.
2 cars, I'm like, I'm not wasting
no,
the time.
I'm just gonna go Taco Bell real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
If there's 100 cars at Chick-fil-A, I'm gonna still go because I know I'm gonna get through.
Yeah, exactly.
An extra large
they got
lemonade.
that system
Yeah.
down. That's what it's about. It's about creating a system and just duplicating it, doing it over and over and over.
Yeah, and just constantly like getting better at it. Like I've seen
Being more efficient.
I saw one in Chick-fil-A. They did so many back of house renovations in 3 years, and it was just it was for line cooks to put out more sandwiches. They would change out like their chicken strip section and then their fried chicken section. I don't know if y'all know, but Chick-fil-A makes everything from scratch. Like it's not pre-breaded or anything. Like
Wow,
their
I
back.
did not know.
They,
That's why it's so damn delicious.
They brine their own chicken.
Really?
Yep, they flour their own chicken. Everything is made fresh. That's
Yeah.
why it's just so incredible. And
Do they do? And I'm not even kidding. Do they do anything sort of like, you know, chicken, please be good.
No,
thank you for the sacrifice that you are here for this hungry individual.
they got a sacrifice room in the
Bless
back.
this 100 pounds of chicken, oh Lord. Please. I don't know. I don't know.
No, they don't. But what I can tell you is that they have an absolute amazing culture, and they believe in the people that they hire, and they just 100% support them and what they want in growth. It's an incredible company to work for and to be with. And I believe I took a lot of the items that I learned from Chick-fil-A and bringing them to iCryo, not only on the marketing side and operation side,
But creating the
and the
culture.
training side and the culture side and the hiring side. It's just, like I said, first franchise company was shit. Second one was a great opportunity, and then all of a sudden, like within 2 weeks, I lost all of it. And then, 5 years after like losing that, just thriving in a position right now. I never thought I would take a desk job or a corporate job.
Same here, bro.
And-
never imagined it.
And I get to wake up every single day knowing that I'm here because I created myself to sit right here.
Right.
Beautiful.
I deserve it. Nothing was handed to me. I
Nice.
built it. I got the experience. I got the scars to
Yep.
prove it.
Yeah.
My heart hurts from a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And
Sleepless nights.
Yeah.
How many
A
sleepless
lot.
nights putting in work?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like all last week was sleepless.
Let me ask you this: what are some of the biggest obstacles you've had to overcome or struggles you've had in your career of marketing?
Mindset. Mindset's the biggest obstacle. Continuing to believe that you can do it yourself. Some days you just feel like you're not worthy,
Yep.
and you're not good enough for the challenge. You had mistakes happen, whether in your control or out of your control as your team, out of something happening in your team. But continuing to have the positive mindset, continuing to lead in your beliefs and your morals and your ethics.
Staying true to yourself.
Staying true to yourself and just fucking being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Like I really do see a lot of people who aren't honest with themselves, and they don't go through like self-aware performance checks.
Yeah.
I feel like every single month, like I take a step back, and like whether I just remember times like being on the beach, or if like I'm stressing, like I'll go to Galveston, I'll go down one of the jetties, and I'll just sit there for like 2 hours and just like think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I remember last night, even before I went to bed, I was just like reevaluating the week that I had before,
Right.
and was just like, man, that was all these challenges, because you do have to make so many decisions, and those decisions are other people depend on your decisions as well too. And so there's been a lot of times where I've just had to be honest with myself. It's like, Chase, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
check
That's
yourself.
real, though.
Yeah.
That's
you have
real,
to
though.
check yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You really
absolutely.
do.
You should check yourself more than other people check you.
1,000%.
100.
Well, because I don't like when no one checks me.
Right.
So if I don't like no one else checking me,
Yeah.
then I have to do it to myself.
Yeah. But then also not waiting for someone to check you, because you want to you actually want to manage that check as well
Right.
too. Like go up to your boss and just be like, hey man, or if it's a lady who's your boss or whatever, be like, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better?
Yeah.
What are things that you see that I could do better, that I could perform better?
Absolutely.
And just being
They'd probably love to hear that question too.
Yeah.
You know?
sure.
Well, they're like, well, they can give you a review. They can do say, well, you are doing absolutely quite well. I know you were late that one day, 5 minutes late to work,
Yeah.
but I mean, other than that, no.
all that, all that's, I mean, as a human being, you shouldn't be late to work. You should have, good manners. You
Yes.
should have good people, like decent people skills, like know when to adapt to like what people that you're talking to, but really focus on like, don't tell me, like if someone's telling you to be on time at work, like That's something that you should have learned back in school,
Absolutely.
or some things.
Absolutely.
But you know, some days, you know, you do show up late because you have life stuff,
Shit
you have
happens.
personal life.
The
But
teeth of the traffic on 610. We're trying to get up here.
dude, I know.
You know what I mean? Luckily, it opened up.
But as
when
long
we
as
were
it's
able
not
to
a
go 90
consistent
again.
thing, because
Right.
like I've had employees.
That's when it becomes a problem.
Dude, when I had employees and they were just like constantly late, it's just like, why are you putting me through this? But not only why are you putting me through this, why are you putting yourself through it?
Because I have a great excuse. Do you want to hear it?
No, I don't.
Please, it's an excuse that I have.
don't
You had to save a cat from a tree.
I had to say I was studying the dictionary also, right?
Yeah.
I was just reading it. I couldn't make it on time, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's, yeah, if you're in management and you're continuing to have to like deal with like stuff like, you know, worrying about people being late or, you know, not following tasks and stuff, like you have the wrong people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the foundation you should have for a good employee.
Absolutely.
sure.
Dude, that's huge.
Yeah, but the biggest obstacle I can tell you is the mindset.
Mindset, definitely.
Knowing like the day I knew I wanted to be a marketing person and be a business owner, I knew that was the last day that I would ever like stop believing in myself.
Yeah.
Question yourself.
Yeah.
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 I was like, okay, I have to do this a 5-year
I
goal,
found
10
it.
years,
I
15,
found
20
what
years.
I want to do.
Yeah.
Self-doubt can be toxic. It can be toxic.
100% toxic,
you,
man.
You have to constantly work on your mindset too.
Yep.
Like
No, I was thinking about it. Like, keep calm, my bad. Well, I was just thinking about it because people who sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
But this self-talk, some people have such poor self-talk.
Right.
Like I've heard,
Right.
like it's so funny. Like whenever I hear like a woman go, "I'm such a bad mother," in my head I'm like, you know what you're doing
Yeah.
better than anyone. What do you want? Sympathy from me? I don't know you and your
Yeah,
kid, man. Maybe you are a bad mom.
Yeah.
to me, it's like don't complain about something if you're not willing to change it.
Right.
Change it. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
they say it's like a nail in your head. Like you've got a nail in your head, and you're just constantly talking about how this nail in your head hurts. This nail in your head hurts. Fucking take it out. Like take the nail out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Fix
you
the
have to
problem.
be exactly. You have to be willing to recognize you have a problem or recognize like that doubt and flip the switch in your head. Turn it into fuel.
Yeah.
Use it as energy.
Yeah, because I mean, they say that 2/3 of your thought are the same every single day, and so if you start transitioning those thoughts every single day, like, I mean, there's those thoughts. I think about them every single day, but it's just taking like that. Just continuing the self-doubt, man. It's hard.
It can paralyze you too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it does.
It can paralyze you. Like you could,
Absolutely.
like you could be like, I know I have X, Y, and Z. I might not be able to get it. I'm in this couch.
Yeah.
I'm laying in the couch. Screw this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to do it anyway. That kind of stuff. If you feel like that and things like that, you know what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You maybe you are overwhelmed, or you can check yourself.
Yep.
And be like, no, I am capable of this.
Yep.
I can handle this task.
Yep. Ask for help.
Yeah.
Smack yourself in
Ask
the
for
mirror.
help. That's
No
the-
one to ask for help.
That's the hardest thing in the world to do, is to ask for help.
You know how many people I've seen just like waste countless hours because they refuse to ask for help.
Yep.
I'm one of I love asking
Yep.
for help. I
Same.
love asking for help. Also, I like helping people.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a two-way road. But I also enjoy the feeling when someone helps me, like seeing them know they're helping me. Like I also enjoy that.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
Huge. There was somebody else that I was talking with, a good friend of mine, and she was telling me, because I was telling her the same thing. I was like, man, you know, I don't want to, you know, it's hard for people to understand where you're coming from with your hand out.
Yep.
Like, hey, can you help? And it's not like I'm out asking for coins or anything like that, but I'm like, man, there's something in me where I'm like, you know, I feel like I have to deal with my mess, my bed. I have to lay in it. I
Yep.
made it. But then she said, well, if you don't ask, you may be blocking somebody else from being able to bless you.
Yeah.
You may be blocking somebody else from their blessing
Yep.
by not asking.
Yep.
And I was
Exactly.
like, damn, she's got a solid point on that. I'm still not going to ask you for anything right now because I did my mindset, but let me ponder on that.
Yeah.
You know, let me think on that.
And this all kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, like when we were saying, like I did so much free work and I was trying to teach so many people how to do what we were doing as far as marketing, but through that, I was learning, like teaching and teaching these
Yes.
people. I was learning how to communicate exactly what I was doing, and I was by teaching them, I was learning more and perfecting my craft.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And so helping someone, it's just as beneficial for you
For
as
the
helper.
teacher as much
Exactly.
as the student.
Exactly.
Yep. So
There's
so
such a
so would you
benefit.
say like how you're able to like master your craft by doing it over and over and over again, not only with the same client or person, but with like doing the same thing over and over with different businesses? Do you feel like you got better at your craft?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So one of my favorite Lil Wayne lines is "Repetition is the father of learning," and he says it on the Carter 3. And I can tell you right now, one of the best things that has got me to where I'm at now is just repeating what I do
Yeah.
every single day. It's
Yeah.
just like, you know, when Michael Jordan and
The routine.
yeah, just every day shooting free throws
Shooting
every
in
single
the gym.
day. And it's important. That's how you become the greatest, because you constantly practicing on it.
Yeah.
And it goes back. So like you get like really good at something, and then people will just stop training. They'll just stop refining their skills. And
Right.
it kind of goes like into faith. Like, you know, a lot of people go into faith because their life's not doing good. They're dealing with issues. They've gone through a divorce. They've, you know, having financial issues. They just had someone pass away. And so then when life starts getting good, they start to lose their faith. They stop going to church because they're comfortable now.
Because now they got happy, and they forget that
What got them there?
what got them there.
Correct.
And also, even when everything's going the most well in your life, don't forget to give thanks.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
that exact moment, because we all know we at our darkest times, maybe driving when we shouldn't be driving late night, we've all asked God, please get me home.
Yeah.
Okay. So He's been with us in our darkest times, you know. So don't forget when He got you out of that dark
Yep.
time. Hey, now that it's sunshine, thanks for the sunshine.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And
Thanks
he's-
for making it.
And he's always going to be there through the best of times as well too, because the thing is, he wants you to win. Just like everybody, and it's, you know, it's not even a faith thing. It's like everybody wants you to win.
Yeah.
Even your haters, they're hating on you because they don't want you to win, but they still want
But
you
they
to
want-
win.
because they want to still talk shit about
They
someone.
want to hate.
They
Exactly.
want to hate. Haters are gonna hate. You know what? Hi, hi, haters. Yeah.
No, but see, the thing is, like, if you have the mentality of like, you know, you're surrounded by people that want you to win, and you know, I know this got into faith, which was, I didn't mean for it to
It's
go in
okay,
that,
bro.
but
It happens.
but the way like how I see like how heaven is just like, you have so many people in heaven, they're looking down on you, and they're just like, yo, come on, you got
You
this,
can do
and they're
this.
like. And then you do it, and they're like, man, good job. All right, what's the next challenge? You know, they got your back. So you have like this whole team of supporters. And so like when you're an entrepreneur, like when you're living like a business owner lifestyle, or living in your passion, or living in your dream, it's very lonely.
Yeah.
Because you're the only person who's believing in yourself. Like you're not a follower, you're a leader.
Right.
And so it's like, where do you find that self-motivation? Where do you find that self-inspiration? Like how do you keep gas in your tank? And so you have to find gas, and like you have to find all this motivation in a bunch of different ways. Like
Chasing dreams.
chasing dreams, baby.
Chasing dreams.
Yeah. And so
Just
you
had
know,
to throw that back out there
Yeah.
to regroup from the front.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
and,
Yeah.
and so it's crazy because it has come full circle.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as much as I was, you know, wanting to, you know, chase other people's dreams, there was a dream that I wanted to chase, and it became to a point like, and at some points you do have to become selfish. And,
Yes.
and literally like the reason why I separated from Chris was so I can become selfish and step into, I got tired of doing the same stuff for small businesses.
So
Like,
so that's one thing that I wrote down. Routine, becoming the greatest. In those routines that you do, one of the things that a lot of people like to let mess them up is the ups and downs that happen with life. Someone's running. Instead of being like, hey, I don't care what your problem is.
yeah.
I have my routine.
Your mic.
Mic check,
you go.
1, 2.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. I have my routine that I
Yeah.
have to be a part of, and I have to do it, and I am so vigilant about what I have to do in my routine. You know?
If
And-
you're not, no one else is gonna.
Exactly. I remember it was so funny. One time I was talking with a friend, lady friend, and I was like, man, I'm trying to get in this routine. Like mentally, I was talking to myself, I'm trying to get in this routine. I need to get into a routine that I like. And I was starting to run, and then I was going to Kroger to buy my food, and then at a certain point, like I was talking to her for a while, and she was like, "You're just in this routine every day, aren't you?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, I am, aren't I?
Yep.
Yes, I am, aren't I?
Yep.
You know?
Routines get a lot of bad rap, but it's so important. Like I'm actually, full disclosure, I'm a little bipolar, but so when I was seeing a psychiatrist
He has two
and
polar
stuff,
bears. Yeah,
when, I
two
was,
bipolar.
when I was seeing a psychiatrist and stuff, like she was explaining to me how important. Like I've always been against routine growing up and stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I'm shoot from the hip.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And she explained it to me like routine is good. Like, having a time you wake up, having like doing the same things, it builds structure in your life. And doing the same things every day, making your bed even, or going to the gym, or eating at a specific
Picking up
time.
those damn clothes that you threw on the ground.
Yep.
Men, especially men, like men thrive from routine.
Yep.
Like we thrive from routine. We also what?
It's just so funny how we have to discipline ourselves for it.
We have to.
Because it's like it's easy to hang out on the couch, play video games and do nothing. It's easy. But you're having to force yourself, like you said, we thrive on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we really do.
How much better are you doing that you're waking up every single day, hitting the fucking gym?
6 months
You
strong,
know what
bro.
I'm saying?
Start my day off with the gym, with a win.
I perler. Hey, you see that video?
Yeah, I've been watching them.
Hey, well, see, he made me do this video a while ago. I didn't want to do it, right? I didn't want to do it at first because I was like, no. He's like, Evan, be the vanilla gorilla in the gym.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And he was like, do it. All right. And we made the video, dude,
He
and it
loved
was
it.
just...
He loved doing
I
it.
loved doing it. I did. I got to, bounce around in the gym,
Yep.
and then your voice edits on it were awesome. Whatever you were doing, man. Yeah, man, hilarious.
But routine, it sets the tone for your whole life. Like even starting the day off and accomplishing goals, it starts your day off right, and you accomplish goals. You continue to check those goals off throughout the day. I think like I said, routine gets a lot of bad rap. Like people are like, oh, it's just so boring, but it's so
I think
damn
they're
important.
boring.
Yeah.
Maybe they're boring because they don't have anything that they can attach themselves to. Man, I feel like my life's going to change after this podcast.
Yeah.
episode.
Well,
I'm serious. This is great.
Yeah,
man.
routine's really good for your personal life, but then routine is really good for your business life as well
Absolutely.
too. And you're just constantly building like systems in your life that make you feel better. You're constantly building systems in your business to make your business perform better. And so it goes back to when you're down in the deeps and you're looking for help, and then when you're doing good, you're not looking for help anymore. It's recognizing that these are all the things that are going really well. These are all the systems that are going really well. How can I make it better? And then that's how you keep becoming better and better and better. I have friends. I see people that family members that happen. They go up and then they go down,
Yeah.
and then they go up and then they go down.
I feel sometimes victim to that. I feel victim to that sometimes as well.
We all are.
Sometimes being a
We're all
little
victims of that.
inconsistent, and I just, you got to be the first to admit it. Like you say, you got to be able to, review yourself and check yourself. I know sometimes I can be like, hyper focused on this awesome thing, and then
Yep.
not anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
For why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, then, and then it's also, I know we're talking marketing and business and, self-motivation and all that stuff. But the question that everybody has to ask themselves is like, what is my goal? Do I want to be here in a company? Do I want to be here as an athlete? Where do I want to be? How do I achieve that? And do I want to be better than that?
Yeah.
A lot of people most people don't think that big, a lot of people think they can't do it.
Most people are told what to think.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's the most simple thing in the world to do. All it is just doing it. I don't know if y'all have ever seen
Shia LaBeouf?
No. Have y'all ever seen a movie called Bleed for This?
I have not.
Okay,
No,
on
sorry.
Netflix tonight, tomorrow, watch Bleed for This. It's about a professional boxer in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And he actually, he breaks his neck in a car accident, and he actually has to get nails. He gets a halo procedure done to him. And so he has to put nails in his head. And what reminded me was you were telling me, like, if you have a nail in your head, just take it out. And so the doctor was saying, you'll never box again. It's impossible. You can't do it. And the whole time in his head, he's like, you're telling me how easy it is to not do it. But I'm going to show you how easy it is to do it.
Do it.
And, and I just remember this specific scene in the movie when he's getting the halo procedure taken out. Usually they give you like a strong painkiller while you're taking, his nails are inside of his skull. And so he does it with no pain medication, just takes him out, and he's in so much pain, and he ends up, winning. I believe it was a middleweight right after the procedure, and just dominated the boxing world, proved everybody wrong. And at the end of the movie, he literally goes, "It was that simple to do it.
Yeah.
All I had to do was just believe in myself, not listen to everybody, put horse blinders on, and just believe in myself." And
Bro, and I just want to highlight that for the whole narrative of this podcast.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself, put horse blinders on, and just go do it.
Yeah, just do it.
And just go do
Just
it, man.
do it.
Just do it, Shia.
Yeah.
LaBeouf.
I love that video.
I know, right? It's so epic. Man, we've gotten a lot of good information from you, man.
Yeah.
It was wonderful
I
to
can't
hear.
believe it was an hour already.
Bro,
Yeah.
just
It
like
goes,
that.
flies by,
Just
doesn't
like
it?
that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Man, we
Nuggets.
got you, man, from iCryo, Chick-fil-A, SB, South Beach
Music Team.
Music Team. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Then,
shout out them.
Chick-fil-A crisp and all that, man, and just, your hard work and routine, man.
Yeah.
And,
We appreciate you coming on,
stay
bro.
focused. When some doors close, the bigger, better ones open.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep, they
Just
do.
And congratulations, and thanks for coming
Yeah.
out.
And just surround yourself around amazing people.
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
praise the Most High.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate it, fellas.
Hell yeah, man. H-Town Happy Hour, episode
HTown
7.
Happy Hour. Episode 7 is in the books.
Number one
Yeah.
podcast in the world.
The number one podcast.
I want to be back on. I want to be back on after we open up our 100th location.
Okay.
Bet.
And I want to
Deal.
talk about the struggles that it takes
We'd
to open
love-
up
we'd
to
love-
truly scale a business. We scaled it from 1 to 12, 1 to 100. I want to tell that story
We
to
would
y'all.
love to hear it.
Yeah.
And I think
Absolutely.
the viewers would love to hear it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Cool, man.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Check out next week every Sunday at 6 p.m. Y'all know what time it is. 6 o'clock, H-Town Happy Hour on Sundays. Thank you.
Number one podcast in the world.
World.